What is going on, everyone? It's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed number 97. And today, I'm going to be reviewing Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. So what are my thoughts on this movie? Well, I liked it. I really thought it was a fantastic movie. It's only the second movie from the Dr. Seuss books that have been adapted into like a animated movie. There have been other like live action movies, but this is like the second animated like 3D animated movie from Dr. Seuss, and he's one of those authors that makes like rhymes and everything. That really makes weird characters. He's just like one of those. He's a very strange author in the way he. I think he's still living. I don't know if he's still. I think he's probably dead already. But the way he did his writing was very strange. But also I think it sold well with that. And with this movie, I think this is the second movie. The first one was Horton Year 2, and there's a third one coming out this year actually, Christmas. It'll be called The Grinch. It's basically the I guess. They're doing a retelling of it. So they did How the Grinch Stole Christmas 3 times. They did one in the 60s. It was animated. It was the original, and then they did a live action one, which actually I personally didn't like. Probably not gonna do a review of that. But and then there's a new one coming out, which based off of what it looks like, I'm not sure if I want to see it, but I'll have to see the trailer to see if I want to see it, because it does have Benedict Cumberbatch in it, who plays Doctor Strange, and also Sherlock. So I might want to see that, But for this movie, I love the animation style. It was a fantastic animation style because it is made by Illumination Entertainment, who make the Despicable Me movies, or the trilogy that they've made so far. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. The basic idea of it is that I think the name is Ted. He's a 12-year-old boy, and he wants to like win the heart of this high school girl, which to me doesn't sound so good because that's like illegal or something. That must be illegal. I mean, even if it's a fictional story, that just sounds wrong. I mean, it isn't that bad, but like I just don't see how it could happen because she's in high school and he's 12 years old. How could that even be a thing? How could he want to be able to be a boyfriend to her if she's in high school? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, no, I like the idea of the movie with the animation. The animation is very amazing. It shows I don't know what, but like will it be Disney or Pixar or DreamWorks or even Illumination, which is the new one. Also Blue Sky does it too. But all these animation studios, they have amazing animation style. I just love it. So he wants to basically win her affection, and she has like this dream of having the trees come back. Because the whole plot of the whole thing is that this guy. I don't think it's really given a actual name, but his name in the movie is called the Onceler, and he's this man, because most of the movie is told from his perspective. Like, he tells the story of what he did, like, where he came to this valley. He went on a journey with his donkey to go on this valley where all these trees were. These very, cotton candy-esque trees, because the tufts of, like, the top of the trees, they were very, cotton candy-esque. They definitely had, like, that cotton candy thing. I mean, I don't think they were cotton candy, but they look like cotton candy. And so he wants to make a new product. He wants to make this thing called the Thingy, because interestingly enough, the city town that the movie is set is called Thneedville, and that's where I think I think it might be what makes the Thneed go from being a Thneed to actual city. And also what happens to the trees, because he decides to use all the trees' tufts as material for needs so he can sell them. And what ends up happening is that he chops all the trees down. And the end result is just like, wow, because we see Ted, the character, the little 12-year-old boy, sneak out of the town or city, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if it's. I think it's a city at this point. Yeah, I think it's a city more like it's big enough to be a city. So he sneaks out, and when you see is what the Onceler did, which is the character his perspective is told from. And there's technically two perspectives, because Ted is the main character of the story, but it's the Onceler that the story is main full focus on, because we find out he's actually not a good guy. Like there's several musical numbers where he sings about well, it's not so bad to do this, when it actually is, because the Lorax comes down from the heavens and he says, "Oh, this is a terrible idea. You can't do this. I'm speaking of the trees. You can't." I mean, what's awesome is that the Lorax is actually voiced by Danny DeVito, who's one of one of many actors that I really like. He voiced Phil in Hercules, which is the Disney movie version of Hercules, and I might actually do a review of that coming up, in a month or so. I don't know if I'll do it, but I probably will. It's a good enough movie. I have some points I want to say about that movie, but he also did a lot of other movies. I can't remember which ones, but I know he's a popular voice actor, and he voiced the Lorax, which is a very, very interesting character. I don't even know what species is. I think he's just like one of those characters that the Dr. Seuss created, which I found really interesting. But he doesn't want him to do that. He doesn't want him to chop the trees down, because he speaks to the trees once because without trees you can't really breathe. That's why in the town of Threeville, I guess the mayor or something, the guy who's like he is Mr. O'Hare. He decided to because the trees are all gone, he decides to make like artificial tree, like ones that aren't real, and basically you make air a business, turn air into a business so you can sell air to people, and then like obviously provide air for the whole town or city in this case. I'm gonna call it city, yeah, the whole city, and he doesn't think trees are okay to have anymore because they're chopped down, and so it's like, well, why if you make trees again? And so he doesn't want people to come out of the town, because why would you want to go out there? Why would you want to go get more trees? And so basically, we see Ted kind of sneak out of the city a bunch of times to visit the Onceler, who's telling him the story of what happened, where he decided he came to this amazing place with all these trees, and he wants to chop all of them down so he can make a business. And he's like, oh, maybe a food won't hurt. So he just chops all of them down. And then, of course, bad things happen, and he makes a factory, and all the trees are gone. And it's like, oh, you happy now? Like, Lorax is like, are you happy now? It's like, this is what you wanted. Because, he, at first, he's one of those characters that, he makes a product that no one else wants. And then he throws it away, and it's like, oh, someone actually likes it. So he makes a product out of it. It's actually really good, but also, we learn that his motivations are really bad. I'm not supposed to. I'm not really technically. So I don't want to tell the plot the whole story, but I'm trying to get the basic idea of it. That's what happens in the movie. So I might have said the story of it a little too much, but I try to keep it okay. But basically, it's just about it's mainly about the Onceler, but it's Ted seeking wisdom about the Onceler's tale, and how he what happened to the trees, and what because the Onceler was that guy who chopped the trees down. He's hiding in this shack. Who was wanting to come. I think he's from. And I think it might have been the lighting. He looks green, but he's actually not green. He's just this old man who's now just aged a lot, and the Lorax is gone, and all his cute critters are gone because the Monster took all the trees down, and then now they don't have a place to live, and they need air. So they all the air is gone, and so Mr. Air uses the air as a business. He sells it, and he has always this company, and the whole city is using artificial trees, which is actually not that good. It's not good, because all that trees, how do you live? So but yeah, I really like the animation style. It was a really good animation style. I love the movie itself. It was a very interesting story. I'm very interested to see what other books adapt into movies, because there have been many of them, but none of them all of them have been good. I never saw The Cat in the Hat, which I don't think I should probably see that movie, because I think it bombed pretty badly. There's not a whole lot of movies based off of a Dr. Seuss work, and The Lorax was a very, very good telling of that, because Illumination Entertainment was. I didn't even know it was Illumination Entertainment. I forgot. It was one of those where it's like, oh, this is by the same people who make Despicable Me. And actually, there is a Despicable Me Easter egg in the movie. There's two. I want to say the two Universal Easter eggs, but one of them more specific with Despicable Me. There's when Ted, the main character, wants to visit the Onceler, and he knows exactly what to do. He needs to get all these materials, and he opens the drawer to get his nail, and right in that little drawer you see a Minion plush. It's amazing. It's because Universal or Entertainment, who is the animation studio, they're not really a big company. They don't have a whole lot. I mean, they're making more, but they don't have a whole lot to their name in terms of animated movies. So seeing an Illumination Entertainment, reference, Easter egg, kind of like a picture connection, that's really cool. I mean, there was also another one that was the Mission Impossible theme. It was I don't know, 5 seconds of a theme where these fish were singing the theme. It was amazing. I mean, these fish, they sing. That was a really good part of the movie I liked a lot, was the singing. And it was a musical, but not. I mean, it had musicals in it. It had some numbers in it. I thought that was really, really good. I thought that was amazing about the movie was the fact that they had singing because, and I don't love singing, but I enjoy it. I enjoy some movies that have some songs in it that were really good. Like when, for example, when the one star decides to sing his way through the valley, just talk about, I think just sing about, his day. I think he even brings his family to help, tear down all the trees, and it's what makes his company happen, which I think is terrible. If you think about it, it's just awful. But that was a really good thing about the movie was the song. It was like a thing about Thieville was just like a little bit weird, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and just seeing what the town has become because the trees are gone, and that was really good. But yeah, I really like the Mission Impossible theme. We was like in there because I'm pretty sure that Mission Impossible is a movie that's no. It's Paramount. Why would it be in there? How does it make sense? That can't be true. No, Mission Impossible is owned by Paramount. What the hell? Then why was it in there? Why was that theme in there? I don't understand. How do they have the rights to that music? I don't know. I mean, I guess they have some reason they put that in there, but I completely forgot that. Having seen the last Mission Impossible movie, being 3, because I've seen the recent ones, but I'm going back to rewatching them, and I realize now that Paramount Pictures is the studio that as a company, production company or whatever that makes Mission Impossible, and so I don't know how the Mission Impossible thing, like 5 seconds it was able to get in the movie, but still I really liked it. I thought it was very interesting to see Ted's motivation. He wanted to bring trees back, not only because he wanted to win the affection of Audrey, who's this beautiful orange-haired girl, voiced by Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift actually voices the character. I was very happy to see that because she's a beautiful actress, and she's mainly a singer, but she's done some acting things. I think this is her first voice role, maybe. I don't know. I feel like she's in more than that, but that's the one I've recognized more often because I have not seen Taylor Swift in anything. I've just seen her doing songs and stuff, and she remains to be a one of the most beautiful actresses in the world. It's my opinion. I mean, there. But also I had Zac Efron, who voiced Ted, who is, I think, based off of Dr. Seuss himself. He's named after that character, which is really good. But the art style, the character design, all it was amazing. Seeing Ted's motivation to actually want to get this tree planted. He's consistent. He doesn't want to give up. He's not giving up. He gets up by Mr. Aher, who is finding out that he's actually walking out of the city, and he doesn't want to do that. And so he's like, "Oh God, no, I can't. I'm trapped." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna go back to one story. I'm gonna get that final story." And so he gets that, and he finally gets a seed, and then he plants it, and then the needs, or whatever you call it, the seed thing, the things that made the trees happen. What are the trees called? I don't know what the trees are called. But yeah, I like the fact that they did that in the movie. That was a really good part of the movie was seeing what happened, and then of course the once they're coming out of his house after so long. I know I'm kind of getting this spoiled, but I mean the movie's been out since 2012. It's been 6 years, so give me a break if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I haven't seen Zac Efron in a whole lot of movies. I think I've only seen him in a couple. I saw the first High School Musical movie. I saw him in Something Again. He's done a whole lot of movies. I think this is the only ones I've really recognized him. I just don't want to. I don't really watch him anymore. He's not one of those actors that I really recognize anymore. So he almost sounded like Michael Cera actually. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought that having the whole town, the whole city turn against Mr. O'Hare because he thinks trees should die. He's like, oh, the seed. There's actually a whole chase scene where Mr. O'Hare is chasing down Ted and his family with Grandma and his mom. His mom is actually voiced by Jenny Slate, who was in Elementary Max 3 and also other movies like that. And also had Betty White in it, who voiced the grandma. And there's a whole chase scene where they're chasing Ted's family and Audrey, who kisses him on the cheek, which is because there's actually a dream sequence where he almost kisses her, but it is not happening. But still, that was a really cool part. But just seeing them chase, it had some comedy, but the chase scene was a really, really fun part about that. I liked that. That was good. But I mean, there was a little bit of comedy. I like the design of the movie itself. It tells a really good story. It does. I like that because it tells a really important story about why trees are important to have in the world. Because without trees, we wouldn't really be here. So because trees are really important because they give us air. So to have actually them die and then be like, oh, we have a source I can sell air, and that's the way that we can live again, or we can use artificial trees, and that'll be just put air in them or something. But also, I found that Mr. Hare was a very interesting villain because he was the villain of the story, essentially, because he was this greedy businessman who wanted nothing to do with trees, and he wanted to make more, he wanted to make his air product better, and he's of course this midget guy. He's really tiny. He's like, I don't know, this big. He's really tiny, and he's just like, I don't know, Snape-like hair, very very long, greasy hair, probably this long. Shorter length, but I don't know, I really liked it. I thought it was a very good movie. I like the singing in it. I don't know, like a lot of movies that are animated, they don't have a whole lot of singing in it, especially from a lot of studios like Pixar and Disney, yes, but it's mainly like Disney. It's more like the princess movies that they have singing, but not the traditional animated movies or 2D animation. Any of those movies that have come out, like I think live action does get it, but many of the animation, of other studios, DreamWorks, Pixar, and the movies that came before Disney, about Pixar, all those movies. So, yeah, and also I like the fact that Audrey, the orange girl that Ted had a crush on and wants to win the affection of, he's actually based on Dr. Seuss's wife, which I found really cool. She's named after, both Ted and Audrey were named after Dr. Seuss's wife, which I found really cool. But yeah, I really liked that. I found it really fun. I was very intrigued by how the monster's motivation was. He wants to do a business, but he realizes that the Lorax warns him, and there's this whole scene where the bed is taken out of his house, and it's hilarious. There's a lot of good scenes, and there's also some cute scenes. Oh, there's some adorable scenes too, where the bears and the animals of the paradise place are in the marshmallows. He opens marshmallows, everyone eats them. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie in terms of the character. I love the characters, but overall, that's all I can say about The Lorax. It's a very excellent movie. I would recommend it, especially if you're a Dr. Seuss fan. Even though they haven't made a whole lot of Dr. Seuss movies, just if you're a fan of the books, I'd recommend it. It's a very very good movie. Only scored about 50-something%, I think 53% or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes. So not everyone loved it. But I personally thought it was a very excellent movie. And because of that, I'm going to rate it a 10 out of 10. It was a fantastic movie, and I loved it. I had no problems with it. I really did not have any problems with it. It was a fantastic movie. It had a good, design. And overall, the design of the movie was fantastic. That's why I liked it. So, yeah. And that does it for this review of Lorax. I really enjoyed it. I think it's fantastic. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Reviewed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate the support. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more episodes of this series and other series I do, as well as other great content. And I'll be back next time with another episode. Alright? See ya.